as Mr. Issa has said, lying to Congress is a federal felony. I don't want to say that you have committed a felony, Mr. Attorney General, but obviously there have been statements so misleading that a letter had to be withdrawn. I think that some heads should roll, and I do agree with Senator Grassley that Assistant Attorney General for the Criminal Division, Lanny Breuer, should be fired. And I know that that decision is not yours, but it is the President's. But I think that merely getting the head of the ATF director at the time is not sufficient, since it's obvious that there was knowledge within the Justice Department. What are you going to do to clean up this mess?
Well, first let me make something very clear. And in response to an assertion that you made or hinted at, nobody in the Justice Department has lied.
Why was the letter withdrawn?
The letter was withdrawn because there's information in there that was inaccurate. The Justice Department letter of February...
Okay, well, tell me what's the difference between lying and misleading Congress in this context?
Well, if you want to have this legal conversation, it all has to do with your state of mind and whether or not you had the requisite intent to come up with something that can be considered perjury or a lie.
Now, the wagons down the street are in a pretty tackle, Mr. Attorney General. The American people need the truth. They haven't gotten the truth from what has been coming out of the Justice Department in the last year, and they were relying on Congress to get the truth. Now, you're here today, and again, I appreciate your being here today as a way to get the truth. But the answers that you have given so far are basically saying, well, gee, somebody else did it. And, there is really no responsibility within the Justice Department. The thing is that if we don't get to the bottom of this, and that requires your assistance on that, there is only one alternative that Congress has, and it's called impeachment, where our subpoena powers are plenary, and there can't be any type of illegal immunity or privilege that can be asserted on them.
Well, the Justice Department has released facts, and I think that's what we need to focus on. Facts. With regard to the creation of the February 4th letter, I made the determination that we would release things that a Justice Department has never, ever released before.
Well, you won't have an independent counsel, and we end up having the Justice Department investigating itself in the absence of an independent counsel. And, having gone through interminable hearings on COINTELPRO, with all due respect, Mr. Attorney General, you got to get this done much more quickly than plugging the holes that COINTELPRO ended up showing existed in the department at that time, and I yield back.
Chairman, I have a parliamentary inquiry.
Thank you, Mr. Sensenbrenner.
A parliamentary inquiry.
For what reason does the gentleman from Texas seek to
I seek clarification. The gentleman in his questioning indicated impeachment. I was not sure which official or which person he was speaking of in terms of
The gentleman from Wisconsin was referring to the fact that while he was chairman of this committee, he oversaw the impeachment process.
His words were, it's a parliament, continuing my inquiry, the statement that the only one alternative is impeachment. I'm trying to determine...
That is not a parliamentary inquiry.